Hey everyone, Hefe here.
I'm Wildman Wes.
We are on the 16th day of our 24 Beers of Christmas, and we have another Christmas movie review after this. So, we're gonna dive right in and see what day 16 has in store. Oh, it's a little guy. Oh! Glad to meet you! My name is Nut Brown! It's literally how it's spelled phonetically. Glad to meet you. The last time I saw this was Miskatonic made this. It's Glad to meet you. My name is Scotch Ale, and This is a Nut Brown. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. It's 5.2 ABV.
Okay.
And made in Darien. So
all right.
I like me a good Nut Brown. It's also got Lodi Tap House logo on there, so I think there was some kind of collaboration there. So that's
yeah,
cool.
Give me some of that Miskatonic and Lodi Tap House nut.
Nut! Nut Brown!
Nut Brown.
Alright, there we go. Glad to meet you! So it's like... Ooh, it's got some... he's got some kind of Scotty character in there.
Alright. It's hardy.
Boozy, it's kind of like, it smells like rubbing alcohol. That's weird, it's only 5.8.
It might be 5.8, but it's gonna kick you right under the kilt.
We'll see.
Alright, jingle
Alright,
jangle.
jingle jangle! Oh! What?
You're right there.
Does mine just it's been words. This tastes like alcohol, and not like
beer.
It's beer. But no, it's weird. What are you getting?
I'm getting oat.
Yes, for sure.
I'm getting a little bit of a sweetness, kind of.
Tiny. A tiny bit.
Boozy bite.
Yeah. Weird.
I mean, it's not like, even, did they have a description of like,
No.
no like barrel aged in
No,
there?
it's Glad to meet you. My name is Nut Brown. That's the description.
Naughty. You gave it the naughty.
I gave it the naughty.
Oh, he went
I don't know what the hell this is trying to be right meow. I'm a little sad. I like Miskatonic. I really do. I like a lot of what they offer. I don't know what the hell this is, or what it's trying to do, or what it's trying to be. I'm getting off flavors. It's like cardboard and rubbing alcohol.
Cardboard rubbing alcohol. That is a great description, I guess. I don't know. For me, it's like I'm getting an interesting flavor profile, so I will give it kind of that, that nod. But I will say it is kind of roughing up my stomach. It's gonna get a nos. It's gonna get a nos. It's like, not a big fan of it, but I'll still drink it.
I'll still drink it. Life's too short for bad beer, but I mean, I'll drink 6 ounces. That's fine. Just what the hell, man? 'Tis not nutty. 'Tis brown, but not nutty. And
it's not nutty.
It's not nutty. I'm not enjoying this. I'm sorry.
Well, if you don't want to jump,
I'm sad.
You can pour it in mine. I will finish it because you do have a movie review for us today. So
I do.
Or a review for that matter. And you know what?
Tell Wes a story while he drinks his beer that's going to fuck him up.
I have a tale.
Okay.
I have a tale that goes beyond this generation, from our previous generation. It is the tale of two men who go on an epic quest for an amazing goal at the end. Of course, I speak of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh!
But I am not talking about that movie today. I am talking about their third installment, Harold and Kumar's Very 3D Christmas. I did not see it in 3D, but obviously it made it very obvious as what parts were supposed to be 3D, which is kind of funny because I'll just talk about the 3D element right now. It started off real strong with 3D, 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 and then they kind of, I don't know if they forgot. And then, like, the big climax and, like, the ending, and then they're like, oh yeah, 3D, 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 3D. But, like, there was a big chunk in the middle where they just forgot 3D. Anyway, this movie takes place a few years after the second film, where they hadn't seen each other in a while. It's been a couple years, but you have Harold, who has grown up. He's married to Vanessa, and he wants to start a family. And this Christmas, her family is coming to their house. And he's got a nice big house. He's got a nice successful career on Wall Street. And, of course, her dad is the first person to show up in an RV full of family. Yes, she's Hispanic, and this is not trying to dog on it. This is one of those movies that makes fun of everything. Makes fun of white people, Indian people, black people, Asian people. That's Harold and Kumar.
No one is safe.
Right. When, you know, all those things that we laugh about 10 years ago, but we don't do anymore. We don't make those movies anymore.
Rabble.
Rabble, rabble. But it's Danny Trejo as the father. Danny Trejo, of course, can always play a stone-walled Mexican, and he just, nothing ever makes him happy. You know? So that's the character he plays. Except his daughter. His daughter's the best part of his life, right? Basically, Harold doesn't live up to the standard, and they make many points to say why he doesn't. And down to the point of the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is fake? What, are you trying to ruin Christmas? Nothing is going to make this guy happy. In life, you have to realize there are certain things that you're just never going to do to make people happy. Basically, he and Kumar, who have been out of touch, suddenly become in touch because Kumar, being the lowlife that he has always been, gets a random package with Harold's name on it. He's like, he hasn't lived here in 2 years. I'm just going to go drop it off at his house. He goes and drops it off at his house, of course. You know, he ends up opening the door, and then they reconnect, and it's very like, oh yeah, hey, cool, you know, good, nice to see you. All right, I'll see you around. One thing leads to another. Harold's smoking this joint, which ends up being what was in this box. This big magical joint in this big wooden box. He starts to light it, and he's like, I don't smoke anymore. And he's like, what? You don't smoke anymore? He tries throwing it out the window, and as by some random Christmas miracle, it floats back around, back in the house, lands in the real tree that Vanessa's dad brought, that he'd been growing for 8 years, and burns it down. This totally ensues the rest of the movie. This movie would not happen if he did not try to lighting up this joint and throwing it out the window and then burning down the tree. They need to find a replacement tree. They can't find it. That's literally Harold's goal this entire movie is get a Christmas tree by 2 a.m. They end up at a party. All these are teenagers at this party, and they're the old people, but he plays beer pong to win this rich kid's Christmas tree. Well, he says he can have it, and then he's like, all right. But of course, nothing goes according to plan. He gets drugged by the kid, and they're tripping, and they think they're claymation now. So, there's that whole thing. And then, of course, after they're done tripping, they have to, of course, be approached by the Russian mob who the rich kid's parents were. There's a whole bunch of other things that happen in this, but as you can see, it's very similar to any other Harold and Kumar story. Random thing happens after random thing after random thing after random thing. They get to a point, like they do in every movie, where they blame each other for all of this happening and says, I never would have done this if you just would have, been cool and still lived with me. And Harold says, well, I grew up. I became an adult. Right? So basically, the whole point of this film, Christmas just being an overlapping tone, is there's a time and a place to grow up, and if you're going to grow up and change your life, do it for the right reasons, and do it with someone who loves and cares about the person you are. Right? That's really the main goal, is that these two people have been friends, there's a lot of history, they really need to forgive each other and just move past it, except that one of them is making changes and the other one is having trouble making changes. So, all in all, the end of the movie, everybody's happy. They're celebrating Christmas. There's, a lot of pot smoking. And
nothing wrong with that.
There's Jewish jokes. It's great. Like I said, there's a lot of the insensitive humor in the film, and if you can just smoke a bowl and drink a beer and watch that and just laugh at it, because that's what it was intended to do, go for it. I say, give it the old college try. Neil Patrick Harris in this was really funny. His husband's in the movie as well, but instead, so now the way he gets around with sexually harassing everybody, because in the Harold and Kumar universe, he is a sexual predator, and he's a terrible, terrible person. But in this universe, at this point in the movie, he's come out as gay, and he and his husband are just like, oh, love you, sweetie. And then behind closed doors, they're like, dude, get off me. I said kiss me. Don't be gay about it. Right? So it's all a ruse. It's all a ruse. Like, okay, love you, sweetie. Go fuck yourself. No, fuck you, dude. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. It's really funny that they can both play that off. But Neil Patrick Harris is just such a terrible dude in these films.
I remember.
Yes. So, but overall, grade-wise, C+.
C+?
I watched it and I'm like, wow, okay, watched it. It's,
Worth
it's funny
one
if you
watch.
can do it. It's a worth a one watch if you feel like you're not going to be offended by any of the insensitive humor. Because that's what it is. It's insensitive humor to today's standards. This was 10 years ago. This movie came out 10 years ago. So,
Wow.
I know. So at this point, you just look at it and just go, it is what it is. I hope they had fun.
Well, that being said, this is all about growth and, learning how to change and get with the times for the better, not for the worse. And I'm glad that we have done that as well for many years knowing each other. And we hope you will too with us in the near future. But make sure before that, you leave a thumbs up on this video and leave a thumbs down if you didn't agree with the thoughts on the beer or the review for the movie. Other than that, make sure you share on social media, but most importantly, push that little red button and don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes.
And I thought you were gay. Yeah, totally gay for that pussy.
I guess we're totally gay for this beer.
I'm not gay for this beer.
Not me either. Now, anyways, we'll see you tomorrow for day 17 of What's Your Poisons? 24 Beers of Christmas. See you soon.